Hey everyone, we're live and coming to you from Ohio and Virginia combined, thanks to the interwebs and all things technology. My name is Becca, and this is the So Becca channel. And off here to my side is my partner in crime, Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches.
Hi.
And today we're doing a segment that we like to call Saturday with Steph. And this is basically just a chance for the two of us to hang out on Skype and talk about things that are happening in life. And we bring you along with us. And a lot of times she shares some shop updates and she's got a whole bunch for you because we've been gone for a while. We talk just like friends do, and we do an easy pattern. This isn't as intense as maybe our Friday nights are. And it's not something that we do every Saturday, but it's a lot of fun, and we're excited to have you here with us. So, Steph, I think just like I'm still kind of eating my dinner. Like, this is how informal our Saturday with Steph is. She's in her PJs, and I am still eating my food.
I got home around 11 o'clock last night from our trip, which was fabulous. But by the time I got in, got showered, saw my kids, got them to bed, got myself to bed, it was late. So I'm in my PJs today.
Well, I mean, we all know that I always sew in PJs, so I won't fault you there. So, why don't we kick things off with just telling you a little bit about what we're going to do today? First of all, if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below if you're not already subscribed. I'm super close to 10,000 subscribers, and you guys could be the ones that put me over the edge. So that's the first plug. Secondly, if you're not signed up for text alerts, you can do exclamation text, I think, in the chat, and that's going to give you the instructions for signing up for my text alerts. I'm going to be using that, leveraging that for notifications for some other things in the future. So if you're not already getting those, sign up for them now. Excuse me. I'm still digesting food because, like I said, super casual. I'm still eating my rice and chicken. But let me tell you what we're going to be doing today, and then we'll just kind of kick things off. So the first thing that we're going to do is talk a little bit about Stephanie's shop. For those of you that don't know, Stephanie is a full-time quilt shop owner. She's an entrepreneur now, although she was before, but now this is her full-time gig. And she's running an online quilt shop. It's powered mostly by Etsy. She also does long arming services. And when she gets in shipments of some new fabrics and notions, this is her place to kind of talk through all that and share that with you. And so I'm really excited to show you what she's got. I saw a very quick glimpse, and there were boxes in her basement. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to show you our quilt shop hop haul. So on our way back from the retreat, for about half of the drive, we were maybe a third of the drive, we were on the same path. And so we were leapfrogging around each other and stopping at quilt shops together and doing a little bit of shopping. And we want to show you some of the things that we bought. And of course, we want to talk to you about retreat, but more importantly than any of that, we are going to do a project today. And so we're going to follow a pattern called Scattered Squares. This is a really simple pillow, although you can make it a wall hanging or something, pattern that was provided by Corey Yoder. I'm going to take that project and I'm going to let it inspire a quilt top. So if you do exclamation project or exclamation pattern, you'll get a link to the actual pillow top or wall hanging version that Corey Yoder wrote several years ago. I'm going to modify that and do it with charm squares. And I'll tell you what I'm doing as I go. It's kind of a wing it project. We'll see if it works. But before we get into that, I'll let you guys go grab your fabric. According to the pattern instructions, if you're going to do what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you I'm going to grab 1.5 yards of some background and 2 charm packs. I'm going to try to turn that into a quilt top. And while I'm getting my fabric pressed and finishing my dinner and stuff, I'm going to hand it over to Stephanie and let her give us some shop updates. You ready, Steph?
Sure.
All right. Let me get you on the big screen. Ha ha ha.
Oh, please no.
No, you want to keep it side by side? I feel like if I keep it side by side, they won't be able to see your stuff.
Oh, they'll be able to see it.
Okay, I'll leave it side by side then. Don't mind me while I eat my chicken.
Okay, so in one of the big boxes, I literally had a pile of boxes. I showed Becca. And one of the boxes, was a whole bunch of blossom fabric. So I've got a bunch of blossom fabric in the shop. I know a lot of you like blossom. In another box was some motif fabrics. I've got they had spare charm packs of Shine On, which is a Bonnie Camille fabric. So I got some Shine On. So I have those in my shop now. This I haven't put in my shop yet, but I've got a couple of fat eighths of this beautiful fabric. It's called Sophie from Moda. I've got, I know a few of you have asked because I ran out, but I've got some more of the paper piecing pads, the courthouse steps, log cabin, and the pineapple blocks. I got some books in, I got all kinds of stuff. I got some books in. I've had this Chex Mix book, but I went out of stock, so that's back in stock now. I have the Charming Babies Quilt book, which is really cute. They're all made with charm squares. So if you didn't want to do what we're doing tonight, here's a book that can give you some other ideas for charm squares. So that's really cute. Most of them are quick and easy and beginner patterns. And then I got some more of the Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book, because these have been sold out for a while. So those all came in from Moda. And then I got just a bunch of new, and I'm not going to show them all to you because it's a huge box. I'll show you guys the box. I got a bunch of notions and stuff. So these will all be in the shop.
Wow.
By the end of tonight, yeah. By the end of tonight, because tomorrow I'm going to have a Christmas in July sale. And I'm not going to tell you all yet what that's going to be, but I'm going to be sending out a newsletter explaining that, and you can come to my shop tomorrow. I'm going to have everything on sale. It's not going to be on sale for the same percentage off. Some things are going to be more than others, but everything's going to be on sale for one day only, starting tonight at midnight and going to tomorrow night at midnight. So
that's a lot of updates. So I got a few things. Let me see. I'm going to try to text in the chat, see if you can get that. Let me look and see what we've got in the chat. Maybe there are some comments here for you. It looks like Kathy Quilts is here. I just want to say hey to Kathy. I hope she's doing okay. Did you stop at a Scarlet of Thread or Cottontail Quilts in Georgia? No, we did not. But maybe next time.
We were only in Georgia for about, I don't know, 10 minutes.
I was going to say 30 seconds. I was like, oh, we're not going to be there very long. Oh, you know what? That text, I'm looking at all the things technology. That text thing doesn't seem to be working. So I'm going to set that up. And while I'm doing that, Stephanie, do you want to talk a little bit about the shop hop thing that we did? Like the shopping? Like, you want to talk?
Oh,
yeah. And then we can maybe share some of the fabric we did.
Yeah, that'd be great. So on the way home, Becca and I stopped with some of the ladies that we met at the retreat. And the retreat was amazing. I saw a couple of people asking if we had a good time. We had a great time. It was nice to sew something of my own, which behind me is the project I work on, and I completely finished this quilt top. So that was amazing. To just sit and sew something and finish something. I still have to quilt it, of course, but the top is all done. So that was fun. But more than that, like, we met a lot of, or I did. Becca already knew most of the ladies. But I met a lot of amazing women. These women were not only so talented, but just the kindest people I've ever met. And I was the newbie this year at the retreat because there was 15 people?
Yeah, about that.
And I was the newbie this year, me and another gal, and they just accepted me with open arms. And they just, from day one, I'm more quiet, you guys know that, of the two of us, and more introverted, but they just made me feel comfortable from day one, and they all talked to me, and they friended me, no questions asked, and they were just amazing ladies, and I had a great time. It was nice to relax. The drive was a lot, but other than that, it was great, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Good.
So
yeah, it was a lot of fun. So there were 15 people there. Donna Forrest, who's in the chat, was actually there as well. And it's kind of a short it's a quick and dirty retreat. And so we did a fun thing. Steph and I padded the trip and took a little bit longer to drive down and drive back up because it is a bit of a drive for both of us. So she's driving from northeastern Ohio and I'm driving from the DC region, and we're going to the Huntsville, Alabama area. And we're only there for a few nights. The retreat starts Monday afternoon and you leave at 9 a.m. Central Time on Thursday. So you really only get like 2 or 3 nights to sew. And that's, so we decided to leave on Saturday, go down like halfway for me. I went down to my mom's house and stayed there, and then finished driving into the Huntsville area on Sunday and stayed at a hotel there and had dinner with some of the ladies and kind of started our retreat sooner, like the night earlier, just by hanging out, happy hour, stuff like that. And then Monday our retreat actually started. And then we had Monday afternoon and evening, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and we left first thing Thursday morning. And so instead of driving all the way back home on Thursday, we drove up to Pigeon Forge, stayed Thursday night, and then Friday we got up and drove home. And so Thursday we did a little bit of quilt shop hopping, and Friday we did a little bit of quilt shop hopping, and we got a flippin' ton of fabric. So...
Yeah. Oh, that's where I was going with that. So some of the ladies that we were at retreat with live in southern Tennessee, and they told us about this great quilt shop. The quilt shop's name was Lana's Quilt Shop, and it was amazing. They had some wonderful fabrics, so we went a little bit nuts. And you guys know how much I love Cori Yoder fabrics, and she had them, so I kind of got some.
Yep.
And then when we were up in Pigeon Forge, we stopped in another quilt shop that was also amazing called the Cherry Pit, and we got a bunch of fabrics there. And then further on up the road, Becca wasn't kidding when we shop topped. We stopped at a store called Boutiques, etc. And they had, you guys know how crazy Becca is about boutiques. That was the most boutiques I've ever seen in one spot at a time, and it was great. She got this amazing kit, and I bought some fabrics and a pattern to put together, and I spent way too much money, but it was so much fun and so worth it. And yeah.
Hey, Steph,
I would totally do it again.
Can you angle your camera down a little bit? I'm only asking because I feel like I'm looking down at you, and I don't want to. I want us to be level. I want us to be even. Yeah, that's perfect.
I think it fell back.
Yeah, it probably did when we were moving stuff around. So that's I think that's a great segment, and I'll add to it that boutiques, etc. So each of these quilt shops that we're going to talk about, I'm going to tell you what the name of them were, where they're located, and if you want to go look them up through Google, you can. And we'll tell you what we thought of the shops. It was a little too much to try to do a live stream or photos from those places, and some of them were like no pictures, like all over the place. So we'll just tell you about what our impression was, and if you want to check them out, you can. So we're going to start by telling you about boutiques, etc., because boutiques, etc., also known as So What Fabrics, is in Wytheville, Virginia, Wytheville, Virginia. And the reason why I'm telling you about this one is because I lived for a few years in Southwest Virginia. I actually lived in Abingdon, which is about 15 miles north of the Virginia-Tennessee border, just north of Bristol. That's where Jason and I actually met before we moved to DC. And I wasn't a quilter then. I wasn't. So fabric shops were just like, they were like a non-thing to me. But when I moved up to DC and I became a quilter and I started going down to see my mom, I started looking for quilt shops. And so for me, boutiques, etc., because they do have boutiques, it's always a stop for me as long as they're open when I'm on 81 going to my mom's house, because they have all of these boutiques. And it's almost like my home shop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't live in Southwest Virginia anymore, but Southwest Virginia has a very special place in my heart. I love it down there. It's amazing. The people are wonderful. The scenery is gorgeous. And it's just what it is. So the reason why we're starting with that shop is because Saturday, when I drove down to my mom's house, I, of course, had to stop at boutiques, etc. So, I'm just going to tell you about all the shops, because I actually sorted my fabric by what it was and not by where I got it. So Saturday night we drove and went to boutiques, etc. I bought a few yards and a jelly roll for my swap partner, and then we went into the retreat. On Thursday, we left from Alabama, and we drove to Pigeon Forge, and along the way we stopped at a quilt shop in Cleveland, Tennessee called Lena's Quilts. Stephanie, you want to tell them about your impression of the outside of Lena's?
Well, it was adorable, but it was a house, and there was a huge, beautiful garden. Like any, somebody who loves gardening, it would be their dream garden. But when I drove up, I was like, it was in the middle of nowhere, first of all. There was nothing around it. It wasn't like in the middle of a city. It was out in the country, and you take all these little windy roads to get there. And I was like, is this the place? Like, I don't know, because the sign was really, really little. And I was like, well, maybe this is just like a long arm quilter or something that has like a little sign up that says quilting. And I didn't know, but then I saw Becca come up and a few of the other ladies who were at the retreat, because I beat them there apparently, but just by a couple minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place. But it didn't look like much, but we went in and I was like, this is amazing. So it's a house that they converted into a quilt shop, and it was great. She had so many fabrics and great fabrics. So I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. And it's like a 3-bedroom, if I have to describe it for you, it's like a 3-bedroom ranch with it's a broad front ranch, not the kind that goes back, but the kind that goes like this. And basically, if the fabric wasn't there, it wasn't a quilt shop, you'd open up the door into like this open floor plan that has like living room, dining room, and kitchen, all kind of in this main area. And off to the right is a bathroom and a couple of bedrooms, and off to the left is another bedroom and I think maybe bathroom. I can't remember. It might only be it might be like a 3-bedroom, 1-bath type of situation. But they have literally taken every wall space, every closet, every nook and cranny, and shoved shelves of fabric there. And it's just absolutely adorable. It's kind of funny because the register where you check out is their kitchen. They have the cash register in the kitchen, and they have the cutting table in the dining room, and they even still have like the fridge, and they sell like farm fresh eggs out of the fridge. No cell phone signal in the shop, so don't even bother trying. But no. yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And in one of the bedrooms was like they took the closet door off and they called the closet of dots, and there was like all dot fabric in that closet. It was so cute.
Yep. It was a lot of fun, and I continue to be surprised by this shop, because last year when Yvette went to Alabama for the Salty Sisters retreat, that's what it's actually called. When she went with us, we stopped at Lena's on the way back too, and she got some fabric and I got some fabric, and we found some Farmer's Daughter, which for me, it's my, oh my God, fabric. It's my unicorn fabric. Jason bought me several years ago, when I first started quilting, a fat quarter bundle of Farmer's Daughter. It's gone because I have used it. My regret is that I didn't use it in a quilt that I can keep. I've used it on a project here and a project there and a project everywhere. So that's my one regret with that fat quarter bundle, and I've not seen one pop up since. And I would love just to have like a charm pack of that. But anyway, while we were at Lena's last year, we found some yardage of Farmer's Daughter. So you can find some really all the fabric's beautiful, but you can find some of that highly coveted fabric that has been on their shelves for a while. Not that they're not moving product. I don't mean to say that, but it was kind of nice because we found last year some fabric that was our unicorn fabric. And then this year, Stephanie and I both found a bit of fabric there as well. What did you find at that place? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can show you. Hold on. Let me grab it.
Do you have yours broken up by which shop you went to?
Yeah, it's kind of still together with where I got it. So.
Okay.
So I got this Corey Yoder kit, apricot and ash. This little.
Oh yeah.
So cute. And then they had 108 wide back from Corey Yoder, this gray that goes with it. So the quilt is a good size. It's 82 by 82. So I bought the 108 for the backing. So that's what I got from that shop. So that was a lot of fun. Do you have what you got from there?
Mine's all put together, so I think what I'm actually going to do is just show you all of my fabric haul at the end. We'll talk about the quilt shops, and then I'll show you the fabric that I got, because I can't remember what I got from where. I originally had everything sorted by this was this shop, and this was this one, and this was this one, but I ended up grouping everything by designer. So I'll just tell you, while I was there, I found some Sherry and Chelsea fabric that I have not had previously.
Mm-hmm.
I found, what did I find? What was the Harper's Garden? I found some Harper's Garden fabric, and I do remember that they had some apricot and ash. So I did get 2 charm packs of apricot and ash. So I can tell you that was there. So that was kind of Thursday. We went to Thursday. When we got into town, we checked into the hotel. And we went up and down the strip in Pigeon Forge a little bit. We did what I like to call Becca's version of sightseeing, where you stay in the car with the air conditioning because it was 98 degrees. And you take the sights from the car. So we drove.
So that was a good thing, since we spent so much money at the fabric stores.
Yep. We didn't go anywhere else, but we did want to go in one shop before we went to dinner, because we did Dixie Stampede Thursday night for dinner. And while we found one shop, a general store, it was the Moon Pie shop near the hotel that we were staying at. And I was like, Stephanie, have you ever had a moon pie? She was like, no. I was like, what? So we had to fix that. So we went in this general store. They had Bibles, they had books. It said quilt fabric, moon pies, nickel candy. And we were like, well, those are all the things that we'd want. So we went in the store. We got a couple of mini moon pies so Stephanie could try them. She did not get the traditional chocolate flavor, but she did get a chocolate mint and a caramel one. Just little ones to try. And then we got some nickel candy for the kids. And we went looking for where the quilt section was. And you guys, I'm just going to tell you.
You saw, if you were there, you would have seen 2 grown women fighting over fabric.
You would have. So we get back to the section where the fabric is. And I think we both thought, oh, well, they're probably going to have like Walmart fabric or Joann's fabric, because it's probably not going to be good quality. We get back there, they got Moda.
Yeah.
And not only did they have Moda, but they had some of the newer lines kind of like sitting out in pre-cuts. They had Fat Quarter Bundle, a couple of Fat 8 bundles, Jelly Rolls, Charm Pack, stuff like that. But they had this section at the back of it, and it was like an entire bookshelf of what they called single yard flat folds. So they basically took all this fabric that they had left, and they cut it into a single yard, and they all folded it the same way, and it was like folded in a flat fold type, and it was all just stacked there, and you had to dig through for what you wanted. It was neat. It wasn't just like a mass whatever. It was all molded fabric. Each piece was a 1 yard cut, and it was $6.99.
Yeah. We digging through the piles, and we were fighting over them because we saw, like, literally, she would be like, I like that one, and we'd both have our hand on it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was amazing.
I think I can remember which ones I got from that shop. I'll show you when we get there. But I will tell you, I was just going to tell you, I got this Fat 8 bundle.
Do you still have a moon pie? Because Nancy was asking what a moon pie was.
No, I don't. But a moon pie is basically like a Nilla wafer on the top and on the bottom, and in the middle is marshmallow, and it's covered in a flavor. So like chocolate or vanilla flavor or some flavored candy type coating. That's basically what a moon pie is. Vanilla wafers with marshmallow in the middle, covered in sugar. It's diabetes in a wrapper.
Basically. She wanted me to try it, so I did. I got I got mini ones, and I got a chocolate mint one and a caramel one. And the caramel one was, don't get the caramel one. It's not that it was bad. It was just so sweet. Like, I took one bite and I'm like, okay, it's good, but I can't eat any more of this.
Yep.
And then I tried the chocolate mint one, and it was really good because I love marshmallow. But again, I couldn't eat the whole thing. But part of that is because like they spoiled us so much at the retreat. We ate so much food that by the time we got to Pigeon Forge, I was like done.
Yep.
I'm okay. So yeah, but they were good. They were good. Lizette said, "Did somebody miss a digit while pricing those?" That's what we thought. We were like, "There's no way this fabric is $6.99 a yard."
I don't know.
We got the ones that we liked up.
Yeah, we did. And in fact, I can show you the one that Stephanie's talking about. Let me see if I can get it here. I remember which ones I got from that shop. Well, some of them anyway. I know these three I got. And my lights just did this weird thing. I'll have to fix the thing. Here, hold on. Ah, give me the thing! I got... This is, let me see if I can remember. I'll tell you. I got 2 cuts of Creekside. This one. In fact, let me switch my camera so that you can see the close-up view. I got this cut of Creekside. And I got this cut of, what was this one, Stephanie? I can't remember. It wasn't Creekside.
I can't see it, so...
Hold on, I'll show you in a minute. I'll change my... Oh, Clover Hollow. And let me change Skype so that you can see what people see from me. Hold on. I'm off my game because it's been a little bit since we've done this. Hold on 1 second. Let me give Stephanie... And while I'm doing that, you guys can look. I got Clover Hollow.
So pretty.
Mm-hmm. And let me turn this back on. All right, you should now be able to see what they're seeing.
Yep,
so Clover Hollow. And then this is the one that we were fighting over. It's another print from Creekside, but Stephanie wanted it, but I found it first. So I took it.
Yeah.
I totally took it.
That's okay because I got a different one that was from the same line. The flowers were a little bit smaller, but they were that pink that I found, and I love it. So she did try to steal it from me, though.
I did. And she told me I couldn't take it because it wasn't fair because I got one. And I was like, but I want them all. Let me show you. I also got this fat 8th bundle of, what is this called? Hello Sunshine by Abby Hollow. And I got, this isn't normally fabric that I would want to buy because it's kind of juvenile, but I love the colors in this. And the print, let me see if I can give you a nice close-up here. I'm trying to get you into the frame. You see how, like, they're cutesy stuff? I don't know. Stephanie said she had a kit with this, and I was like, well, you're not allowed to have things in your stash that I don't have, so I just picked it up and threw it in my cart, apparently. So that was the Moon Pie store. And then we went from there, we went to dinner, we hung out. Suburban Hillbilly is asking me asking Stephanie to ask me maybe if I want her Farmer's Wife book since I can't sew currently. Oh, I don't want to take it away from you, but I mean, I would buy it from you. All right, so moving on. On Friday, we got up and we left, and we had planned to stop just at one quilt shop on the way out of town, and that was Cherry Pit in Pigeon Forge. It's another quilt shop that I've been to in the past. I remember being in there. I don't know if I actually bought anything that time, but I have been there before. And this time we went in there, and how long we were there? Like 2 hours or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was a long time. But
a long time. But it's a great store. That's why we're there for so long.
Oh my gosh. Stephanie, why don't you tell them first what you found?
Okay, so Becca's unicorn fabric is Farmer's Daughter. And we started looking around the store, and we started seeing that they had some of the fabric lines that her and I like a lot of Corey's stuff and a lot of Cherry and Chelsea and some Lella Boutique stuff. And the further and further we got into the shop, the more stuff we found. And my unicorn fabric is Nest by Lella Boutique, if any of you remember that line. It had like pinks and aqua, different shades of aqua and teals, which are all my colors, right? And we walked back to the back of the store, in the very back, there was some nest. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
So I found 3 bolts of Nest, and they were all the blenders from Nest. They were not any of the main prints. And then I started looking at some other shelves just to see what else they had. And somebody had put, they did this to trick me, so I couldn't buy it, but somebody put the pink floral from Nest in a different spot. It wasn't with the rest of the Nest fabric. It was stuck like randomly on another shelf. And I was like, oh, that's coming home with me. That's the one that Becca's showing right now. So her and I literally took the bolt up there and said, put this for us. Give her half and give me half.
Yep.
So we cleaned them out of Nest because that's just like, I love that fabric, those colors. And I love Lella Boutique anyway, but that is my absolute favorite fabric line of all time. So I got some of that. I got some Harper's Garden yardage because I had the charm packs that I bought at Lana's. And then I bought some yardage that they had at that shop. I got a couple of other cuts of older Corioder fabric from Prairie, if any of you remember Prairie, and from I think from what was that one called?
Harper's Garden, Prairie.
No, I got one from. Trying to remember what line this is from. Let me look. I don't know if I got enough salvage. Oh yeah, Sunny Side Up. That was it. So Sunny Side Up, and I got some from her Sugar Creek line. So I got some amazing stuff, and then I got some stuff from a couple of. This is a really old line from Sherry and Chelsea, but this blue is like everything. So I got that. And then I got this gray from Balboa, and I got enough for the backing of a quilt. So I'm really excited about that. So we did good.
We did, and that whole Layla thing, that translated to me as well, because Stephanie picked up her nest and her eyes got big, and then when she found that big pink floral print, she got really excited. And we were in the end of the aisle, and she goes, oh, and she pulls out this fabric. There were 4 SKUs. She pulls out these couple of bolts that are Layla, and as soon as she did, I went, oh! It was
the best she made too.
It was 4 cuts or 4 SKUs of Farmer's Daughter. We had the small little roses or flowers, daisies, whatever, on pink. And then we had that on the charcoal black as well. They did have the pink gingham and the yellow gingham, but I actually didn't get any of that because I felt like I had enough gingham without any of that. I didn't need it. So I didn't buy that. But along the way, I don't remember what shop we got this from, but just to kind of round out the Lella Boutique fabric, I found, and I think it was at Cherry Pit, but I found the blue floral print of from Gooseberry, which is a big deal for me because I found on Etsy before we left the charm packs from a quilt shop for Gooseberry, and they were not ridiculously priced, so I snagged them up, and now I've got a 2-yard cut of a coordinate from that line plus those 3 charm packs, so I am super excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Her original lines. It's really hard to find.
Yeah,
so.
It was. And then if we're talking about just like other things that we got, we talked about Corioder. I'll do down here in the close-up cam. I did get 2 cuts of Corioder. This is a really pretty floral print that I got to go with the apricot and ash charm packs that I picked up. I got 2 yards of this so it would make a nice border. And then I just got this because I really like the stripe, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it was colorful, and I think there was only a yard left on the bolt after Stephanie was done, and it felt like it was an orphan and it needed to come home with me, so I grabbed it. We also I got 2 charm packs of the Harper's Garden, which is, I think, what I'm going to be working with today. when we talk about the fabric that Stephanie and I were fighting over, this was a lot of the struggle. This fabric bundle here caused some arguments.
It wasn't really.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. There was one print in there, and we were very good about splitting it. Whenever there was more than a yard, we just split it in half, and it was good to go. But this one, I think she got it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to copy you," and I took that too. That's from Sherry and Chelsea. I got 2 yards of this from Sherry and Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tone on tone from Sherry and Chelsea. I've actually got 2 of them. This is from the Harper's Garden line. And this is the only one that I think if we were like, if we really were throwing fist, it would have been this one and that pink floral one. Because she was looking for this, she couldn't find it. And then she had checked out and paid, and I found it. So we ended up splitting that though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
And then, of course, I got this from Harper's Garden. Yeah, it was really pretty. I thought that would make a nice border. I did find from Balboa this really pretty tone on tone. See if I can get it right there. I got this tone on tone from Balboa because Stephanie said, and I do see it, that the color that they use for their tone on tone is usually always the same. So I was looking for a tone on tone to go with Harper's Garden. I hadn't found those little X's yet, and so as a result, I picked this up. But then I found the X's, so then I just had to have both. And then I got the colorful little X's, which I think are super sweet, just to be like a binding. So yeah. I realized after our little haul that all of this fabric is Corey Yoder, a little bit of Corey, a lot of Sherry and Chelsea, and a lot of Lella. I think I know that I am a Sherry and Chelsea fan now. Just saying.
Yep.
Do you have more fabric you want to show? I feel like I've been talking for a while.
The only other things that I have are from the boutique shop.
Oh, well, that's a great segue because that's what I have next. Do you want to grab yours first?
Yeah, that's what I can show. So I got, let me open this. I got this this beautiful jelly roll that they I don't know if you can see it, that they hand cut there. And here's the side to see the colors. And if y'all know me, I like blues. You know I like blues. So this was like perfect. And to me, this looks like the ocean. And I love water. And I love blues. So it's beautiful. And then I got some coordinating fabrics to go with it for like border, binding. And then I got this little white background with little real light kind of tealy blue dots for my background fabric. So I am super excited. I cannot wait to make a quilt with this.
It's going to be gorgeous.
I'm not usually a super huge boutique fan. You guys all know that. You guys know Becca is. But I walked in and I saw this fabric, this jelly roll, and I was like, I'm taking that and I'm going to find fabrics while I'm here to go with it because I don't have those in my stash. Mm-hmm. So I bought everything I needed to make a quilt top. Yep. So I'm really excited about that.
Patty Pritchett wants to know what is the name of the shop. The one that she's talking about with the boutiques is called Boutiques, etc. It's in Wytheville, Virginia. However, the shop that we were talking about before this is called the Cherry Pit in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Lena's Quilts. Huh?
A lot of people are saying they like the blue, that they also, that blue, they like the color blue as well. So, yeah.
Yep.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
So carrying it back over to what I've got in this haul, which is a little ridiculous. These cuts are, I don't remember where I got them. I think these 4 right here came from that $6.99 a yard sale. And then these 2, I don't remember what quilt shop I bought them from. I think it was Lena's. No, I think it was Cherry Pit. Was it Lena's? Probably. But I've got this pretty cream on cream, or it's a tone on tone. And then I've got this, which is a Create Joy. I got a half yard of this in a cotton cuts box, and they had it on the bolt, so I figured I had to have that. And then these were more from that $6.99 Moda thing. This is a Bonnie and Camille from Vintage Picnic. This is from Fig Tree. Can't remember what the line was, but doesn't matter. It's a fig tree yellow. This is just a random pink that I picked up. And then this, I think, was called Brambleberry. I had a mini charm of this. I loved it. The strawberries, you guys know I love my strawberries when they're done a certain right way on my fabric. So I picked that up. And each of these were $6.99 a yard, so I felt like it was well worth it. But moving into the batiks.
Oh, Donna said she posted pictures of her haul from Lana's and the group page.
Awesome. Awesome. We'll share those pictures. I got a jelly roll as well, and the one that I got is called Watermelon, and I'm going to use this when we do our live sew in August. So I told you guys we were going to sew something with a jelly roll. I was thinking maybe a jelly roll race, but maybe we'll do something a little bit more simple, like a stack and whack where you just sew the strips together. I don't know. It'll be simple, and all you'll need is maybe some background fabric or borders and a jelly roll. But this was called Watermelon. All of their jelly rolls are hand cut and rolled in their shop. At least, I mean, not the manufactured ones, but they do hand cut jelly rolls in the shop. The one that Stephanie has was called Caribbean. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. And this one was called Watermelon. I loved the colors, so I got this one. And to go with it, I bought some of, let me see. Show you the fabrics up close. I bought this really pretty green for a nice thick border. And then I bought this pink for a nice inner border and binding. I thought that would just finish that quilt off so nicely. J. Land says to do a Bargello. How many times have we heard that one? We really need to do one.
Want to do one. We're going to do one of these times, you guys.
It will happen. I'm just nervous. I'm nervous to do it right now because I've not done one before and I know it's time consuming. The blue, the background fabric that Stephanie showed you for her jelly roll, I got some of that as well. They only had a little bit of it left. Let me see if I can get you a nice clip. That's really very accurate to what it looks like. It's white with those really pale blue dots all over it. It's a Hoffman Bally dot. Really, really pretty. It reads as a light blue, I think. A very pale light blue. Super gorgeous. And then I did get some yardage. I'll show you the yardage, and then I'm going to show you my prized possession from that shop, and I think we're done with the haul and we can get into the project. I got a yard of batik with some beautiful dragonflies on it, and actually I know this is from Lena's. I know this is not from Batiks Etc. I remember because I saw it on the shelf along with this beautiful hummingbird at Lena's, and I got both of those, so I know those were from Lena's quilts. The rest
is adorable,
right? The rest of these were from Batiks Etc. So I'm going to show you. They have a sale room up there where the fabric is 25, 50, or 75% off. So these cuts are actually from their sale room. This is a white batik with some pale blue leaves on it, and I got 2 yards of that. I've got this multicolored print that kind of looked like trees. I thought that was really pretty. It's got all sorts of rainbow colors in there. And then I got this, which I believe was actually used as a fabric in one of the Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery quilts that I did. And I just thought it was pretty and wanted a yard of it, so I got it. But these last 3 yardages that I got 2 yards of each because I got a half yard or a fat quarter of 2 of these prints, and I have been dying to get yardage of them, and I can't find it anywhere, not online, nowhere. And I walked in and they had about a half a bolt of each of these, so I grabbed 2 yards of them. The first one is this really pretty dolphin print. Absolutely love this. Then I got this whale fabric, which coordinates nicely with a purple version of this fabric that I had bought by the bolt. And then I got this black gray print with some octopuses in it, and I figured I could use the 3 of those with some batiks that I have by the bolt to make a really pretty land and sea quilt eventually. And I think the last thing that I wanted to show you is a kit that they did custom for me in the shop, and this was a big deal to me. So they make paper piecing kits from Judy Niemeyer, and who's the other lady, Stephanie?
Oh gosh, I can't think of her name now.
I don't remember her
Somebody
name.
really well known from the Netherlands, and I can't think of her name.
Yeah, Tian come and told me about her before, and I can't remember her name. But anyway, they do kits for both of their patterns and stuff, and they have them all over. Oh, you're not looking at my face; you're looking at my hands. Sorry, they have them all over the quilt shop, so you can pick them up, and buy them, and I had walked into their classroom with Stephanie, and we saw a couple of gorgeous quilts that they had finished from Judy Niemeyer, and I just was like absolutely floored at how gorgeous these quilts were. And Stephanie was like, "Yeah, that's Judy Niemeyer," and I was like, "Who?" I don't understand. So they showed us what one of the ladies there talked to us about Judy Niemeyer and what the patterns were, and I decided I wanted to try one. So I bought a pattern from Judy Niemeyer, but I committed to a small project because I was intimidated by anything big. So I got a pattern called Star Baby. And the best part of this entire experience was this wasn't a kit that they had, not in these colors. This wasn't a colorway that they had. So I just got to pick my fabrics, and the shop helped me with it. So I got blues and purples to put that together. They helped me pull bolts. We did this for like an hour, pulling bolts, auditioning them, and then they cut all the fabric custom for this and put it together for me. And I am super, super excited to try my hand at that, but it's probably going to sit on the shelf for a little bit since we're getting ready to move and whatever. No, I'm not talking about Gudrun Erla.
No,
Stephanie.
it's Jackie DeJong.
That's it, Jackie. You were looking it up.
Because I was like, I knew it was Jackie, but I couldn't think of her last name, and I didn't want to say the wrong person.
Yeah. So before we get into the project, let me just show you. I sat here talking to Stephanie for a little bit before dinner and folding all of my fabric on comic boards, and I said, I think I may have gone a little over the top with my fabric purchases from the week because I feel like you can't really see me. It's a little much, but I got it. And here it is.
Fabric over there.
I know. I have tons of
that quarter bundle yet.
I'm going to in a second because that wasn't part of my. I will show you that because that's gorgeous, but it wasn't part of my quilt shop hop haul. It was part of my Stephanie haul. She got me two. She brought me two things to retreat, and I want to show you both of them. But let me get my yardage out because I'm going to use this for our project today, and I'm going to put this out of the way. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous, guys.
I got my stuff home and I was like, man, I think I bought too much fabric. And then I looked at hers and I was like, nope, I didn't. I did okay.
Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so Stephanie showed up at the retreat, and I had brought her a bag of things to put in the shop and sell that I wasn't going to keep anymore, and a couple of little things, but nothing major. But this girl came packing with a major prezi. The first thing that she gave me, which is very special to me, so I'm going to show you the first thing first. It is this really gorgeous hand-blown glass strawberry. I absolutely love it. It's got a little hole up at the top where I could put some ribbon through and hang it up like an ornament, but I'm terrified it'll break, and so I just have this sitting on my shelf behind me. I love this thing.
I'm glad you do.
I do. It's so cute. And then the second thing she brought me was actually this lovely fat quarter bundle. This is Cozy Up by Corey Yoder, and I know Stephanie's going to have some of this in her shop, so I thought a great way to end this haul segment before we get into the project is to show you this lovely fat quarter bundle, and Stephanie can tell you about this fabric and what she's going to carry.
Mm. And so
Well, before you do, wasn't this one yours? You gave me yours and you're waiting for it to be replaced when your shipment comes?
yeah.
That's how
So
good of a friend she is.
so how it works with Moda is that we can get, as shop owners, we can get a sample so we can start to make something, so we can show you all what the fabrics look like. And she wanted this fabric, and I knew I was going to see her. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take her mine so she can have it. And it's Cozy Up by Corey Yoder. It's her new line that's coming out next month. I'm going to have kits and yardage and pre-cuts, and she's got the fat quarter bundle there. But this fabric is very different for Corey. She doesn't usually do these colors, but it's a very beautiful fall line. And one of the things I love most about it, of course, is the blue. It's got this like dark tealy, like almost not teal, I guess it's a dark, like almost dusty blue. It's really pretty. And some of the patterns that are coming out with this line, I absolutely love. So I will have this next month. She got the first though, so she's showing it to y'all. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it.
The,
So
I don't know how you can have a better friend than Stephanie. Like Corey Yoder is like her fab designer, right? Like you say Corey and you don't even have to get Yoder out of her mouth and she's already like, yep, take it. She is a huge Corey fan. I don't think there's anything that she's done that she doesn't like. So for her to get the fat quarter bundle as a sample or an early release or whatever and pass it over to me before the fabric actually hits the shelves in the stores is a major thing. And I'm going to covet this and not cut it for a very long time probably because I love it. It's gorgeous and it just looks so pretty sitting here. So thank you, Steph. I know I said thank you before, but you know, I don't think my thank you justified the sacrifice that I know you made giving this to me. I really appreciate it.
Yep. You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
So, do you want to talk about your sale for tomorrow?
So I think Amanda was asking, do you have a date when these will be on sale? I don't, because it's a matter of whenever Moda sends them to me. They are supposed to be releasing the second week of August, but you all know with all the shipping delays that you all know that you never know, when stuff is going to come. So hopefully they're going to be on time. If they are, I should have them the second or third week of August and be in the shop right away. It's, like I said, a gorgeous fall line. So I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to make the pattern. I bought patterns. I'm going to kit it. So I can't wait to make that. But I also am going to have pre-cuts too. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to give you guys all a preview. I got this literally today because I came home last night and I had a huge pile of boxes and this was in one of the boxes. So again, for fabric shop owners, sometimes they give us really super early preview samples of fabric lines, and the next catalog just came out to order things for December, January, February. Corey Yoder's next line, which I already saw because I saw it in the catalog, is called Beautiful Day, and it's full of reds and pinks and greens and her charcoal gray that she likes to use. And like I said, I was going to order it because I love it. And to my surprise, I opened my box today and it had a sample charm pack. It's so pretty. Like, I'm actually going to just break this open because I'm going to sew with it. So look at the roses.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to show some of the prints. Look at these little rosebuds. They're so cute. So beautiful. Let me find some of the green. Here's the green she's using, which matches the leaves and the flowers perfectly. I'm going to show you some of the pinks. Here's those rosebuds in pink. Here's the pink mane fabric. It's so gorgeous. And then there's some red in this line, and some tone on tone and some whites. Oh, this one's really pretty. I've never seen her do anything like this before, where it almost looks hand drawn. So that one's kind of neat. And then, of course, her grays that she likes to use, the charcoal. So I am super, super excited about this line. This is also something different for her. She's never done like a pink and red and green and charcoal line before. That's not Christmas. So it's gorgeous, and that comes out in December. But I'm gonna sew up something with it before then and show you guys. So I'm really
Awesome.
excited about that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. A few people in the chat are saying that they really loved the bees that I did and posted on Instagram. So for those of you
Yeah.
that don't follow me on Instagram, I took these, I don't know which crate they're in. I think they're in this one. Ah, yes, they are. They're right here on top. I have been dabbling in the world of foundation paper piecing. I had done it very minimally before Yvette started kicking off like her Piecing It Real membership a year ago. And then, she launched her Piecing It Real membership in September, and I signed up, or May of last year, and I signed up. And I watched a couple of her videos, took a couple of her patterns, and just kind of ran with it. I love it, and I really haven't done a lot on this channel with it because I know that's really Yvette's thing, and I don't want to steal her thunder. But I have had people ask me, would I be willing to do a class? It just got asked again in the chat. Would I be willing to teach it? Would I be willing to do a project here on a live? I absolutely will. I just want to find the right project, and I want to get a little bit more practice under my belt. But I want to show you the bees that I did. And
well, that I'm gonna move for a second because a couple of people said they like my quilt and they want to see it more. So
yeah, let me give them.
Thank you.
She's going to show that behind on the left side of the screen, and on the right side of the screen, these are the bees that I did. These are foundation paper pieced. I did do it doing the traditional method, but I want to dabble with the freezer paper method, and I want to learn that before we get too far. Steph, I'm going to give you the big screen. Just give me a second. All right. You are full screen if you want to step back and let people take in that quilt that's behind you. And I don't know, do you want to tell them a little bit about how long that was a work in progress or something?
Well, I actually started this. Can you see it good?
Uh-huh.
I actually started this when I was like 8 months pregnant with my youngest child. And I got 2 blocks done, and then I had some health issues come up with my pregnancy, and then my second to youngest son, who is now 3, I think I've talked about this before, had some health issues. So those of you who have been here know that happened all at the same time. So I kind of put it away and didn't work on it because, there was a lot going on. I didn't have time. I kind of forgot about it. And then when I moved all my stuff down here and kind of consolidated everything to the basement when I decided to go full time with my shop, I found this again, and I was like, I really, really want to finish this. And I had gotten like another 2 blocks done before we went to retreat, but that was it. I had 4 blocks done, and I was like, I took this and I said, I'll be happy. I took this and I took one other project, and I was like, I'll be happy if I just finish this and nothing else. I was hoping to get to a second thing, but I may have talked too much to get more done. But I am super thrilled that this top is done because it feels like all of the health issues have resolved now with my children, and my son is in remission. So this just feels like all that is over. So
yep.
Yeah. So it means a lot to me, and I'm happy that I got the chance to just sit down and work on this for days in a row and finish it.
Yeah. And in contrast, I was super frustrated because I didn't have a finished quilt top when we left. So the last night we're there, I'm like, I got nothing done. But I did make 4 very cute bees. So there we go. That's what I did at retreat. This is it.
They're adorable. They are super adorable.
All right. Stephanie, are you ready? Oh, go ahead.
Some things she can't talk about right now.
Oh,
we'll take
yeah.
we'll take a you know bit from Tankum from
Can't
so
talk
yeah.
about it. But I will tell you,
Right.
I mean,
It's exciting,
I'll
but
tell.
she got a bunch of blood for that, which she's not talking about. So she actually did get a lot of stuff done. She just can't show you.
Yep. I tested, I think there's 20 blocks in my mystery quilt that we're going to be doing starting in January. Free so long, anybody can join. Stephanie will have kits available, so if you want to buy the fabrics that I'm going to be using in the videos, you will be able to get them from her. Make sure you're subscribed to her newsletter. When all those details come out, it'll be announced here. It will be in her newsletter. But if you don't have the funds to buy the fabric, or maybe you just don't want to sew with that, or you want to sew from your stash, you'll be able to do that too. There will not be a pattern. There will only be video tutorials, and it will run from like January to like May or June of next year. So stay tuned on that. I'm testing the pattern now, and I did, gosh, I want to say like 8 of the 20 blocks. Is that right? I don't remember.
That you did almost half of them.
Yeah. And then I was like, I can't do any more because I had to figure out the cutting and the instructions and take notes, and that was really intensive on my brain. Like, because they're not just like a 4-patch. They're actually more intricate blocks, and I wanted to make sure I was coming up with a way to make them that was easy. So, yeah. All right. I'm ready to make our project.
Laura said, I'm down for so long. By the way, you guys, when I stopped in Lexington overnight on my way down to Alabama, and I did get to meet Laura Beach, and she is the nicest lady, and her husband are the sweetest couple. And Laura, thank you again, because I just had the best time with you. They were so good to me, and I really enjoyed meeting them. So if you ever hear about any of us being in your town, we'd love to meet you. I had a great time meeting Laura. She's a sweet, sweet lady.
Speaking of meeting people, when we were at Cherry Pit, I was carrying fabric to the counter, and somebody comes up and goes, "Oh, you're Becca!" And I went, "Yeah." I didn't know how to say that. And I can't remember her last name, but it was Angela from Cherry Pit ran into Steph and I, and we got to talk to her for a couple of minutes, and that was really nice. I think that was like the first official time that somebody's actually come up to me and been like, "I know you. I watch your YouTube videos." I was like, "That's so great."
She saw Becca, and then she turned a little bit, and she's like, "And you're Stephanie."
Yep. Suzanne wants to know if I'm using EQ8 for designing my blocks. Yes, I did. Once I designed what the layout looks like, and then I sketched everything in my notebook, and I'm doing everything else by hand because I don't know if there's anything else I can do in EQ8. EQ8 just lets me make it look the way I want to look and gives me yardage estimates, but I've heard that EQ8 can be very off with that, so I'm testing the pattern and the cutting instructions because I would rather have the kits have very generous, ample cuts and have you have scraps than to have to be frivolous and lose out on it. So
Laura said it was fun. I would never want to miss a chance to meet a quilty friend, and I feel exactly the same way. The one thing I love about this whole journey and about this community is that I've met people now from all over the place, and now I feel like if I'm ever in the Lexington area, I know that I can talk to Laura and be like, "Hey, I'm going to be there. Let's meet up." And I've got a friend to go have dinner with or something, because she was absolutely lovely, and I would love to get together with her again.
You got a friend in me. Yeah, super fun.
Said, how many hours a day do you think you sew? She asked me. Well, when I was at the retreat, I sewed all day. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, what, Becca, 8 hours at least?
She worked more than I did. I thought I was going to be the one, because last year I was the one that was like, get it done, get it done, get it done. This year, we got there Monday, and so I had to bring in all of my mom's stuff, all of my stuff. I needed to get the bedroom organized, get mom's stuff put away, get my stuff put away, get our table set up, and by the time all of that was done, I was like, I just can't get in my mind. I can't get out of my mind and get freed ready to do it. So I didn't really sew a lot Monday night. And then Tuesday morning, I woke up and I sewed for a bit. And then by the time the evening came, I was like, I'm mentally exhausted from testing out half of that pattern. I can't do that anymore. So Stephanie was like, well, put it up and work on foundation paper piecing. Pull out your ginger quilter bees. And so I did. And I got one done that night. And I was like, oh, okay, I got one done. Now I can go to bed. And then I woke up on Wednesday. Was that right? No, that was still Tuesday. And then we went to dinner and I came back. And then I feel like it was Wednesday that I woke up and I did the other three. And then I was...
As Tuesday after dinner is when you had a few personal things come up, and that's, personal. But yeah, so you kind of quit sewing, and then she woke up on Wednesday and worked on the other 3 bees. And every time it was so cute, because every time she would get one done, she's like, it's another head.
Yeah.
It's another head. For the heads to bees.
It was super cute. All right, so I'm going to start working on my quilt. Here's what I'm going to do. You guys can follow the pattern from Corey Yoder if you want to make the mini quilt or the pillow. But if you want to do something like I'm doing, or you just want to know what I'm doing, I'm going to cut some 1.5-inch strips from some sashing or background fabric, and I'm just going to attach them to 2 sides of each of my charm squares. I've got 2 charm packs here that I can use, but I'm just going to focus on putting those sides on one of each of those, and it's all in the way you lay it out. So I'm going to focus on putting it on the left and then across the top. And then I'm going to trim everything up, and then I'm just going to put them together topsy-turvy. So the way it works is on odd number rows, you're going to organize it so that the sashing is on the top left and then the bottom left. Is that right? Top left, bottom left, top left, bottom left, top left, bottom left. And then in the next row, it's going to be top right, bottom right, top right, bottom right, top right, bottom right. So odds, it's going to be on the left. Evens, it's going to be on the right. And you're just going to make sure that your fabric placement is just fine. It's going to kind of give you like this scattered square looking. And I think it's just a really cute pattern to showcase your fabric. So that's why I'm doing it with my Sherry and Chelsea Harper's Garden Charm quilt. Oh, Pat Strawhouse wants to know, can you please show us your ruler safe and the source? So I bought this from my wholesaler. I think Stephanie can get these for you, but shipping is kind of a pain, so don't quote me. Steph, why don't you tell them about the ruler safe? Because I only bought one because you told me to. So this is what it looks like, and then you can talk about it because it would come from you, not me.
That's the square one. You show that one. I'll grab mine.
Okay. I'll show you in the close-up video what it looks like, too. We actually had lots of questions about this while we were at retreat. What is that? What is that? What is that?
Yeah. So Becca's got the square one, and I don't remember how large of a square can fit in there. Do you, Becca? Is it 18 inches?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Okay. So that's the square one, and I've got the rectangular one, if you all can see this. I fit up to a 24-inch long rectangular ruler in here. And the nice thing about these is I discovered it after I actually went on a trip and took my sewing machine and all my stuff. And it was a trip that my kids came on with us. It was a family trip, and I took my machine to sew on our downtime and put all my stuff in the car, including my rulers and my machine. And because we had the whole family, the car was pretty packed, right? Mm-hmm. So my rulers were on the floor in between the seats, and one of the kids jumped on it and broke one of my rulers. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to take rulers. So I started looking for carrying cases for rulers, where most of them were soft-sided, and I was like, well, they can still get broken. So when I saw this, I bought one, and I love it, and I take it everywhere that I go with my sewing now, because it's padded inside, as you can see there with Becca's. It's got almost like an egg crate type padding, and then it's got straps to strap down your rulers, and it fits a ton. Like, she fit every single square that she has.
Yeah, I've actually brought all of my Creative Grid rulers with me, and so what I usually do, or what I have been doing, in my studio, I hang them up, but when I'm out and about, or I'm traveling, or I want to take them with me for a class, I can just Velcro them all into place, and they don't slide around. They stay nice and secure right here. I'm trying to get this so that you can see without spilling my coffee. There you kind of go, just like that. So you can kind of see they're Velcroed in here. But I also have a few miscellaneous rulers. Like you guys know that I like my 6x12 ruler and my 8x12 ruler, so I can fit these in here too. I have an extra, actually 6.5-inch ruler. That's actually my mom's, but I'm keeping it here for her. I've got a 4x8 in here. I've got a Missouri Star 2x7.5. So I've got these in here too, and they're just kind of loose. The only thing you got to be careful of is back here you've got these hinges. You want to make sure that your rulers are down in here before you close it. And if you're just very careful or slow when you go to close it, you'll know if something's caught in there, because this could chip off the edge of your ruler. But it's nice because now I've got everything in my little briefcase. I carry it around with me. I do what I need to do, and then I get on about my way.
Yeah.
She's got the long one. I've got the square.
Yeah.
They want to know how much those run, Steph.
I honestly can't remember. I'm going to look them up. But they're going to be special order only if you want one, because they are large. They won't be able to be shipped USPS. I'll have to go UPS. They're not super heavy, so they probably won't cost a whole lot to ship, but they go by the size of the box and then also the weight. So, yeah. So if you are interested in one, just email me and I can get you a price and get you an estimated shipping price. And if that works for you, then we can get it. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. So,
yeah, they're a good investment. I love them.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing right now is just cutting some 1.5-inch strips out of my sashing fabric, and then we're going to start just attaching my squares to it. Are you doing this project too, Steph?
I was going to, and I still want to do them, but honestly, because I'm so tired right now, I don't think I should sew.
Okay.
I am crazy tired. You know, my kids, which I'm so thrilled about, my kids were so excited for me to be home that they didn't see me a whole lot last night because I literally got home so late. They should have been in bed already, but Daddy let them stay up so they could see me. But I took a shower. They came in, jumped on the bed, were hugging on me, and I fell asleep. And this morning, because I'm home, they're excited, so they were like banging on the door at 7:00 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I need to go. I'm tired. So, I didn't actually get out of bed, and I'm ashamed to say this because I never sleep this late, but I didn't actually get out of bed until like 10:30.
Wow.
But they woke me up at 7, so I kind of never really went back to sleep. I was kind of in and out, but I'm tired. It's so funny to me how a car ride can take so much out of you. You're just sitting there, right?
Yeah.
But it was a long car ride, and it was a long day, and there was a bunch of delays due to an accident and some construction. So it took 2 hours longer than what it should have. So I got home really late, and I'm just exhausted. So
yeah, not a problem. Well, if you just want to, you're welcome to peace out whenever you want to. You don't have to stay if you're too tired. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to do the entire project on my live today because, to be honest with you, I seem to have misplaced my scene guide, which I love. Oh, it's over here. I don't know if I'll get through all of it because I do think it's going to be a little, time consuming, and I don't want to be here all night. So, but I'm going to show you the basics of how how I'm going to put the sashing on the sides of these blocks, and then I'll probably.
Oh, Susan said she had to buy a ruler today at her quilting class because she broke hers on the way.
Oh no.
It sucks, doesn't it? Oh, especially, quilting rollers are not cheap.
So here's what I'm doing. Let me show you in the close-up cam. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. I hope you can. Yeah, you should be able to see it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my strip, my 1.5-inch strip, and I'm just laying it underneath my needle. And I'm going to take a page out of Tiffany's book. I'm not going, maybe it's Jenny Don't, I don't know. I'm just trying to be efficient. So all I'm going to do is pick up a square and lay it right side down so my strip is right side up, and then I'm going to take a square, lay it right side down. I'm going to line up the edges over here, and I'm just going to stitch it to this strip. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I can't fit any more on this strip. When I get to the end of that one, I'm going to pick up the next one, and I'm going to lay it down, line up those raw edges. I do have a little bit of a space in between. This is not the most efficient use of this background fabric, but it'll be fine. And then I'm going to pick up another one and lay it down. And this is really all I'm going to do. I'm going to do this until all of my squares have a sashing piece attached to them. And then I'm going to stop and trim every single one up and piece or press every single piece. And then I will repeat this with the other side. So the top and the left is what I'm focusing on for this. And then the next, like for all of them, because it's really going to be about, I want one side and one top or bottom, either a left or right, and either a top or a bottom on every single square. Not top and bottom, not left and right. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. And while I'm doing that, we can chat. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Steph, you're welcome to tell me when you've had enough, or just read out the chat, or pick up some
I'm just reading
square.
comments and replying to people right now. Susan said she's happy that we had such a good time. Somebody said I need to go rest and spend time with my family.
You do.
I will. I'll probably leave at 7. It's 10 till, so.
Okay, so that'll give us about 10 minutes. I might stay for a little while longer, but yeah, we'll see. I will tell you that dinner was delicious, but man, am I stuffed now. I'm sitting here a little miserable. And I didn't even eat it all.
Hi, Netta. Netta came in.
Hi, Netta.
Natalie said, you two still look great. Thank you, hon. Donna said that she slept in late this morning, Donna Forrest, and that she also took a nap and she's still tired. So.
Yeah, she went back to her time zone too, so that's got to be a little more difficult as well.
Retreats are exhausting. Mary said retreats are exhausting also. Everything is out of the norm. Actually, it was really, really relaxing, and that wasn't bad. It's just the whole, I don't know, driving back that's really took it out of me.
Yeah.
Oh, Sharon, that's nice. Sharon Rouvain said, you guys are hometown folks who seem very approachable, which for me as a beginner quilter means that I'm not intimidated. I'm so glad to hear that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, Kate said, how was the whole COVID protocol at the retreat?
There wasn't one?
There really wasn't any. I mean, they cleaned really good and stuff before we came, and everybody that came, you know, we all made sure that we were safe, but yeah, and anybody who needed to wear a mask did, so.
It was really more of keeping yourself safe. And this wasn't a big retreat where we were in a conference center. We were in a home with people we all knew. Everybody knew each other. This wasn't like we went to a big convention. There was like a dozen people that all took proper care to isolate, quarantine, whatever beforehand if they needed to, wear masks if they needed to, and it was in a private home. We weren't out and about.
Karen's here. Karen DR, and she said, hi, sweet ladies. I miss you both already. We miss you too. We had such a great time. Can you give the name of the Dutch designer again, Jackie? Her name's Jacqueline de Jong. Yeah. She does paper piece. Yeah.
Petites Etc. was actually going to have her in shop. So if you're in Southwest Virginia, I don't know, I think it was in August that they're trying to get her as long as the borders are still open.
Yeah. I think they were having trouble having her come over because a couple times she had booked and then they wouldn't let. I don't know if it was on their side or the American. I'm pretty sure it's probably Europe. Wouldn't let her come here or go back or something. It was like she could come here, but then when she went back, it would have been an issue or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, Emily's here. She said that she would have to rest too after being around all the people. Yeah, I'm an introvert. Even though I had a great time and the ladies were amazing and they definitely accepted me, not even knowing me, and talked to me. It was great, but it does spin me out a little bit. I do like quiet, and there wasn't a whole lot of quiet there. Although it was it was okay because it was great fun. I think I laughed more in the last week than I have in a long time. So it was a lot of fun. I think we all like laughed and cried and screamed and laughed some more. It was so much fun.
I did my share of screaming. Damn this beehead! Oh, I'm so full.
It was great.
I'm miserable. Miserably full.
Rel, I didn't announce the sales yet. You're gonna get either if you're on my newsletter, you're gonna get that later tonight, and you're gonna see what the sales are gonna be. And if you're not in my newsletter, you should be. If you're not, you can still see the sales when they go live. You'll just have to kind of look around and see what they are. So, but everything's gonna be on sale. They're just gonna be different percentages off. So, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys kind of the big camera view down here so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, I've taken one strip and I daisy chained all of my squares, just one side to them. And I'm taking the time to actually press these. And I want to press them down towards the charm square only because my sashing fabric is white or like a cream. There we go, like that. So I'm just making a little pile of ones that are already sashed, and then as I press them, I'm laying them down and I'm lifting the charm up and rolling it back and pressing this with my finger and then smoothing it out and grabbing my hot iron. Patty wants to know, am I doing the pillow or the quilt? I'm actually going to do the quilt. I just don't know how big the quilt's going to be. So we're going to start by doing one charm pack, and then I'll probably end up doing both charm packs because one charm pack would only make a baby quilt, and I want this to be at least lap size. Somebody did ask me earlier in the chat how the house hunting is going, and I'll let you know we are not house hunting yet. We are preparing our house for sale. We have a lovely realtor. Her name is Mary. That is just absolutely amazing, and I would recommend her to anybody in this area that was trying to sell or buy a home. She's doing a wonderful job of staying on top of everything that needs to be done so that Jason and I don't have to. And yeah, we're not looking for homes yet. We are just taking on all the projects that need to be done to get our house ready for sale. We're hoping to, if all goes according to plan, we are actually hoping to list our home for sale this fall and buy and move all before Christmas. So we'll see what happens. But with that is going to come most likely a lot of renovations and updates that we want to do to our home, because if we sink in some money for updates for like the kitchen and the bathroom updates and stuff that I've been wanting to do here and we just never did, we'll be able to increase the sale price or the list price significantly. So we kind of feel like we should take the time and the money to do that, because that'll be more money that we can put towards the purchase of our next home. So we got to figure that out.
Mike Thayer said, so what was for supper, Becca?
Oof. So there is a place, and now I gotta go potty. There is a place called Mezza Grill, I think it's called. It's like Mediterranean. Oh, it was so good. It was like basmati jasmine or basmati white rice and chicken shawarma and some ziti and some hummus and some cucumbers and some tomatoes and some pita chips on top. And it was delicious, but the only problem with that is they give you this big bowl and I can never eat the whole thing. I get like halfway through and I'm miserably full. And I went a little past halfway and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Really good. Oh, Mama
awesome.
Popper announced that they're planning to move too. Wow.
And a couple people said they signed my newsletter, so thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let me show you really quick. Now that I have these done, what I'm going to do is take another 1.5-inch strip, and it's going to be just like I did with the other one. I'm just going to lay the strip down so that it is right side up, just like we have here. I know that's right side up. I'm going to lay it so it's right side up on the bottom, and then I'm going to pull my charm squares, and I'm just going to sew along this edge. Really doesn't matter which one I do, but I do kind of want to be consistent. So I'm going to sew down one edge, and I'm going to treat the piece that I just sewed as the top. So this next one's going to be really the left. And this is your block. This is all you're doing. Grab the next one, line it up. Now this is going to need a little bit more than 5 inches of fabric because it's got to cover that 1.25 inches from the top. So you're not gonna quite fit all of these on one strip. They're looking for acreage so they can have cabins for retreats. Oh, that's very fun.
That would be fun.
We are looking for a home that's going to have some acreage, but we're not looking for anything huge. We're hoping to get around 1/2 acre. We want something a little bit more secluded, but not far away from the city because we got to get to work. We just want a little bit more land and a little more privacy. Although I think we might be okay with like 1/3 of an acre or something as long as it's a good yard. You know what I mean? We don't have that now. And I really want it in my next home. Jason wants to build a greenhouse.
Oh.
Yeah. He can do that. I'll
Well, if you have a big enough yard, you could.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yep. He could. I will not. But I would like to grow like some strawberries and stuff, so I would benefit from it. I would like to do that. I just don't want to build it. Somebody else can build it.
Joanne says, does the pattern call for mini charms?
I think the pattern does because it's for a pillow top. But I'm working with actual charm squares because I'm going to make a lap quilt. I think this is going to be a lovely lap quilt for either a Christmas recipient or whatever.
Marla said she babysat a 7-month-old baby girl today for 9 hours. This grandma is tired. Oh.
It's amazing.
Kate says, and space for your quilting? Yes, Kate. That is her #1 requirement. She already told her realtor if there's not a space for her quilting studio, then don't show it to her.
And I want it bigger than what I have now. Like, I want a defined space for actual YouTube quilting and a space for long arming and a space for fabric storage. I want it to be big enough that I can have people come sew with me. So like if Stephanie wants to come into town and she wants to just hang out at the house, that's great. I want her to be able to bring her machine and pull up a chair and be able to just sit and sew while still having the long arm there, still having my fabric space, still having the YouTube studio. Right now, in order to do any of that, I have to take down the YouTube cameras and the lights or move stuff around. I don't want to do that in my new space. I want to be able to just go. I want to always set up.
Yep.
I don't care if it's a basement or a bonus room above a garage. As long as it's got some good lighting. So if it's a basement, it's got to have some big windows, like a walkout basement would be great. Or if it's a separate building on the property. Any of those will do. Any of those will do.
Yep. That would be amazing to have like a she shed so I can sit out there and make some frogs.
Make some frogs. Or do you mean frogs or do you mean turtles?
I'm not sure. Good night, Karen. I'm about to go because I'm exhausted as well. I got home super late last night, so
yeah. I'm gonna show you really quick what I'm gonna do with the rest of these, and then we'll probably say no to an HOA. Got it, Mike. So now that we're all done, we're going to take our square and we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're just going to press this in towards the charm square. And so what we have is a block that looks like this. I'm going to press this really quickly. First with my hand, then with my iron. Just like that. For those of you that are still trying to knock out an Alaska quilt before the August 15th deadline, this would be super quick and easy to make. That is your block. This is what you're doing. You're going to do this however many times you want to put your quilt together. If you do 42 of them, you're going to have a baby-sized, an infant-sized quilt. I'm going to do 84 of them, well, 81 really, and I'm probably going to make it square. I'm going to do 9 rows of 9. And we'll see what this turns out to. It'll probably be lap-sized. I think it's going to be nice. I'm going to put a nice border on around it as well. But this is it. This is all you're doing. And I'm just going to show you really quick. Let me cut one more so I can kind of show you how these go together. And then we can kind of call it quits for tonight. And Stephanie can go take care of her family. I can just sit here and sew or go upstairs and be miserable from my full belly. You guys have a little bit of time to do whatever it is you want to do before So Yeah comes on at 8 o'clock and we all spend ridiculous amounts of money. Speaking of So Yeah, I got my mystery boxes and I did not have a golden ticket. So Steph sadly is not able to go to the So Yeah Quilt Till You Wilt competition because of a golden ticket I can give her.
That's all right.
Did you got your mystery box, yeah?
Put some of it. I hope they can put some of it online so we can watch. That'd be fun.
I agree. All right, so what you're going to do when you lay this out, you're basically going to take your first one and you're going to put it so that you have the sashing like this, and then the next one will be your sashing like this. And you're going to kind of repeat that for your entire row. You see how you kind of have... Trying to make sure you can get both of them. You have your sashing here and then your sashing here. You're going to repeat that for your entire row, and then the second row you're going to change it so that it's on the right hand side. And so what you're going to do is set it up like that. On the right top and the right bottom. That's it. That's all you're going to do. But it just starts by making a simple block that has sashing on two sides. You're going to make a whole pile of them. I'm going to make 81 of them and build it out. Anything else you want to talk through, Steph, or are you done?
I think my brain couldn't if I even have wanted to.
Look, I got garland.
I am going to have to say goodnight because I am exhausted. So
not a problem.
It was great to come in and see all of you, or quote unquote see all of you, because really can't see you, but it was great to be here and catch up with you guys a little bit, and now I'm going to go to bed.
Not a problem. I think I'm going to take a cue from you and go upstairs and start getting some stuff unpacked as well. So thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I appreciate you being here. That's it. Stick around Friday night. We're going to do the Springbrook Blossoms month number 4. Is it already? Oh my goodness. It's month number 4 already. So join us Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, where we'll be sewing Corey Yoder's Springbrook Blossoms Block of the Month live right here on YouTube. See you guys all then.
Yep.
Bye. Bye.